there are rumors. I've seen KOT has posted that Akina Joho are going to be appointed as CSS today. And I think we shouldn't allow this government to recycle politicians or just maybe leaders, those who've been found or not necessarily found guilty, but those who've been accused. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. Those who've been allegedly found with graft cases shouldn't be holding offices. We shouldn't allow that. People like Mbadi, people like Joho, those are people who should not be anywhere near leadership or even near CS positions. CSS should be, like we said, people with merit, competent people. Mbadi is not even competent. Joho is not even competent. We don't need such people in leadership. And CSS should be, I believe they should be, even though they're being appointed by the president, I believe they should be able to work to serve us, the people, not serve the president, not work, do whatever the president wants. So people like Mbadi, politicians basically shouldn't be holding CS positions. So I hope we, as today, should the president mention people like Mbadi there, I hope it's part of the reason as to why we will be on the streets on Tuesday. Another thing, someone talked about the Vision 2030. And Vision 2030, even though it was a good plan, it's dead. I mean, nobody ever talks about Vision 2030. Vision 2030, it was supposed to allow us to be like the best. It was supposed to allow us to be a prosperous country, but because of corruption, how are we even going to prosper as a country? How are we going to prosper? The rich are going to just keep on being rich while the poor are still going to suffer. So this is still the time, like I've said, and like we've been doing. I hope we reclaim this country and take it from the politicians who are just power hungry and who just want to enrich themselves. Yeah. Now the last thing, I'm sorry if I'm taking a lot of time, but the last thing, let's talk about county governments. County governments, we know that there's a lot of corruption going on in county governments. There's a lot of embezzlement of funds. Case in point, the governor, the Isiolo governor, who just used 1 million to buy a crate of soda, and 54 million for other payments. Other payments, one thing I know is any payment, even if it's a shilling, you have to say where that shilling went to. And yet this man just wrote there 44 million other payments. What are other payments? So what we should really want is the EACC to take action against county governments. Most of them, when they're found guilty, for instance, Obado was found guilty, and then they came to an agreement with EACC to that some of his assets would be taken. But he belongs to jail. He doesn't actually belong with us out here. We are not committing crimes. Obado committed a crime, and he should be in jail, and the assets should also be recovered. We don't need that. The assets are being recovered, and he's still enjoying the ones that they may perhaps EACC did not manage to find out. No, he belongs to jail. So the fact that EACC is also coming to such agreements is also taking us back, because they know that someone like they'll take maybe half and they'll leave me with half to enjoy. I'll just come to an agreement with them. These people belong to jail, and everything, maybe the only thing they should be left with is the land they inherited from their ancestors. Otherwise, people like Obado belong to jail, and we shouldn't be allowing EACC to just come to such agreements, because it promotes it's what's promoting corruption and embezzlement of funds. Otherwise, Ruto must go, and we should keep on soldiering on. Thank you so much.
Can I speak?
We had who wants to speak? Simon, we had an order, please.
I'm here.
Yeah, we had an order.
Okay.
Just a moment, Simon. Just a moment. We had an order. After Tracy, we go to Miss Jukusomeo jina. Wewe mwenye uko na nini kwa CW kwa whatever. For DP, please speak.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity.
Ruto ni stress na unani stress na jina yako pia. Surely.
I apologize.
Speak to us. Go ahead. That was on a light note.
No worries. Thank you so much for this opportunity. First off, I'd like to send off condolences for those who've bereaved, those in the hospital, Poleni. For me, I'm going to come from a personal perspective. Number one, I'll first talk about Ruto, how he affected, let's say, my family in 1992. We were going up country, going to visit mom's side of the family, and we left my father on the father's side of the family. On return to go towards my father's side of the family, we got attacked because there were clashes happening that were political. And for me, that was staring at death. We were like very young with a sibling of mine. From that day, I just knew this guy is out to kill people. He's out to just cause the utmost harm so as to have the upper hand politically. Number two, because of those traumas that were previously suffered in previous years, a lot of us, I'm a millennial, I have nieces and nephews that are Gen Zs, and a lot of us right now in the family circle, we are fighting traumas with our parents, with our older aunties and uncles, because for them, they are telling us, why are you still wasting time trying to fight for whatever you're trying to fight for? Finance bill is done. Cabinet secretaries are gone. For you now, you just need to go on with your life. And for me, I find that so, it really dismantles you as an individual to see the kind of strength that you have. And for many of us who are trying to fight for the best Kenya, we are faced with people who cannot see beyond the picture. So we are fighting each and every day, and it can be a very hard thing, mental drain, physical drain. And a lot of the time, you always have to just sit down at the end of the day and ask so many questions like, why? Why is it we always have to fight all these things with even the people that you love the most? Thirdly, on the protest, I've been to the protest twice. And for me, I can just say, there's this thing that we do, I'm a business person as well, there's this thing that we do when you're going for your deal, when you're going for something that you really want. It's how you're going to strategy with your utmost brain. You'll use your entire brain. I think for now, we really have to think so hard on how best to move forward, but at the same time, not show out our cards, because literally we are dealing with monsters. And every day when you're trying to get the best out of, your day-to-day life, it can be so discouraging. It's a trial and error thing. But what is advantageous to the Gen Z movement is the energy people have, circumstances that arise, that people don't have jobs, people don't have a lot to dwell on. So there's a lot of energy they're going to give into this movement. I think we best use that to our utmost degree, so that at least when you are focusing on that goal, as much time it's going to take or little time it's going to take, we're going to achieve it. Thirdly, I'm just going to say thank you to the Gen Zs, because a lot of us millennials who used to stand up to institutions, stand up to parents, stand up to elderly people, a lot of the times we used to feel alone. But right now, I'm feeling vindicated. I'm feeling like, oh my God, I am being heard, because there are other people who are talking the language that I'm talking. So I'll encourage you guys just to keep going on. You're encouraging me every day to even keep going and standing firm, because every day, wherever I go, as I'm doing business, I'm talking about this and telling people, you have to stand up for what is right. We need a better Kenya. We don't need to be going outside of the country. We need to make things happen so that we have the best future possible. Thank you, and God bless.